Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman are once again at the center of a powerful Hollywood moment as the world marks 35 years since Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves first arrived in theaters and fundamentally changed how audiences experienced legendary storytelling on the big screen. Released in 1991, the film wasn't simply another retelling of an old English folktale passed down through centuries. It became a defining cinematic event, one that shaped careers, ignited debate, and left a lasting emotional imprint that still echoes across generations of movie lovers. At the time of its announcement, the film was already surrounded by enormous expectations. Kevin Costner was riding the highest wave of his career, coming off critically acclaimed and commercially successful films that had established him as one of Hollywood's most bankable leading men. Casting him as Robin Hood immediately grabbed headlines, and not all of them were flattering. Skepticism poured in from critics and audiences alike, with many questioning whether an American actor could convincingly embody one of the most iconic British legends ever created. The issue of Costner's accent quickly became a talking point, one that would follow the film for years. Yet none of that mattered when audiences showed up in massive numbers, proving that star power, emotional storytelling, and cinematic ambition could outweigh controversy. From its opening moments, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves made it clear that this was not going to be a light-hearted or whimsical adventure. This was a darker, more grounded vision of Robin Hood, one shaped by pain, injustice, and personal loss. The film leaned heavily into themes of political corruption, brutal power struggles, religious division, and the emotional cost of loyalty. Robin wasn't portrayed as a carefree hero born into rebellion, but as a man forced into resistance by betrayal, violence, and the collapse of everything he once believed in. That emotional weight gave the story a sense of realism that set it apart from earlier adaptations and remains one of the key reasons the film still resonates today. Morgan Freeman's portrayal of Azeem brought an entirely new dimension to the story. Introduced as a man condemned and imprisoned, Azeem quickly emerged as one of the film's moral anchors. He was thoughtful, intelligent, spiritually grounded, and deeply principled. Freeman infused the character with a calm strength that balanced Robin's fiery determination. Azeem wasn't there simply to assist the hero. He challenged him, guided him, and often represented the voice of reason in moments of chaos. In an era when roles like this were rare, Azeem stood out as a fully realized character whose presence reshaped the emotional and philosophical core of the film. Behind the scenes, the production was every bit as ambitious as the story it aimed to tell. Filming stretched across vast landscapes, ancient castles, and rugged terrain that gave the movie its gritty, immersive feel. The shoot was physically demanding, with long days, unpredictable weather, and intense action sequences pushing the cast and crew to their limits. Kevin Costner has since reflected on how exhausting yet exhilarating the process was, describing it as one of the most challenging productions of his career. Despite the difficulties, he has also said it was one of the most rewarding experiences he ever had, precisely because of the risks involved. When the film finally premiered, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Theaters filled up rapidly, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves quickly became one of the highest-grossing films of the year. Audiences were drawn not just to the action, but to the emotional journey, the sweeping visuals, and the sense of epic storytelling that felt increasingly rare even then. The soundtrack became an inseparable part of the film's identity, especially Bryan Adams's powerful ballad, which dominated radio airwaves and became one of the most recognizable love songs of the decade. That single track alone turned the film into a cultural moment, forever linking music, romance, and heroism in the minds of millions. The film also introduced one of the most unforgettable villains in cinema history. Alan Rickman's Sheriff of Nottingham was cruel, theatrical, sarcastic, and completely unhinged. His performance injected dark humor into the story while raising the emotional stakes to unforgettable levels. Every scene he appeared in crackled with tension and unpredictability. Over time, his portrayal has been widely regarded as one of the greatest antagonists ever committed to film, a performance that helped elevate the entire movie and solidify its place in cinematic history. As the years passed, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves slowly transformed from a box office juggernaut into a nostalgic classic. Viewers who first watched it as children began revisiting it as adults, sharing it with their own families and discovering new layers of meaning along the way. Quotes became part of pop culture, scenes resurfaced online, and debates about accents, realism, and creative choices evolved into affectionate discussions rather than harsh criticism. The film survived changing trends, shifting tastes, and multiple attempts by Hollywood to reinvent the Robin Hood legend, remaining uniquely beloved in its original form. Now, 35 years later, Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman are looking back on that era with perspective, gratitude, and a renewed sense of connection. Their recent reunion has reignited interest in the film and reminded audiences of the chemistry that made it so unforgettable. In public appearances connected to their latest collaboration, both actors have spoken openly about how time has reshaped their understanding of that experience and deepened their appreciation for what they created together. Costner has acknowledged that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves represented a turning point in his career, a moment when he fully understood the responsibility of carrying a legendary character. He has reflected on how the film taught him resilience, particularly in the face of criticism, and reinforced his belief that emotional honesty matters more than technical perfection. For him, Robin Hood was never about flawless accents or elaborate swordplay. It was about conviction, courage, and standing up for something greater than oneself. Morgan Freeman, ever thoughtful and self-aware, has approached the anniversary with humility and humor. He has admitted that specific details fade with time, but the feeling of mutual respect and creative camaraderie remains vivid. Freeman has often said that what truly stays with an actor isn't awards or box office numbers, but the people they work with and the meaning behind the story. Playing Azeem allowed him to contribute to a narrative centered on understanding, loyalty, and faith across cultures, a message that remains deeply relevant even decades later. The timing of their reunion feels especially significant because both actors are now in a phase of their careers defined by intention rather than ambition. They are no longer chasing fame or validation. They are choosing stories that matter to them personally. Their latest collaboration reflects that evolution, focusing on historical depth, moral complexity, and the often overlooked individuals who shaped history without recognition. Seeing Costner and Freeman together again has sparked powerful emotional reactions from fans around the world. Social media has filled with tributes, comparisons, and personal stories from viewers who credit the film with igniting their love for cinema, history, or storytelling itself. Many describe the reunion as a reminder of a different era in filmmaking, a time when epic stories were given space to breathe and characters were allowed to evolve naturally. The renewed attention has also reignited conversations about legacy. What allows a film to endure long after its release? Why do certain performances outlast technology, trends, and criticism? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves didn't succeed solely because of its scale or spectacle. It succeeded because it made people feel something real. It offered flawed heroism, unconditional friendship, and hope that acknowledged hardship rather than ignoring it. Costner and Freeman's reflections highlight a simple but powerful truth. Some stories don't fade with time, they grow richer. As audiences revisit the film, they see new meanings, deeper themes, and emotional layers that weren't visible before. What once felt like a thrilling adventure now reads as a meditation on justice, leadership, sacrifice, and loyalty. As Hollywood continues to chase endless reboots and franchises, the enduring power of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves stands as proof that authenticity leaves a permanent mark. It shows that when actors fully commit to a story, embracing its imperfections, the result can transcend its era and remain relevant for generations. 35 years later, the legend of Robin Hood lives on, not because it has been endlessly retold, but because it was once told with genuine heart, ambition, and emotional truth at exactly the right moment. And watching Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman reflect on that journey together feels like witnessing two master storytellers honor the past while confidently stepping into the future. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.